One of my favorite activities is watching wildlife, and you never know what you're about to see. Sometimes you see nothing, no animals at all, and other times you see a lot and some surprises. And there is a wildlife photographer who did a speech, a TED talk. Maybe you know the TED Talks, about making photographs in nature and what is necessary, what is needed to make a good photograph. And one of the most important things is, and it is very obvious, but many people just don't think about it. If you want to see beautiful things, you first of all need to be there where the beautiful things are most likely to occur. Now, that is one life lesson for me beyond wow. So, I am not an early bird in the morning, but when I want to see wildlife, I go up early. And last year, my niece and nephew and my sister-in-law, we were on vacation in the Dutch woods called Veluwe. And I already told them I am going to be up early tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m., because I want to go and see whether we can find some red deer. Red deer, that is what in US and Canada you call wapiti. You never know whether you are going to see animals or not. It's always, you never know. But I was thinking about that photographer, and I thought, well, if I stay in bed, I will be sure that I won't see them. So I went up at 5:30 a.m. and I had told my niece and nephew, they were back then 12 and 10 years old, and I told them, I will wake you up at 6 and you need to get out immediately, because we must be in the woods as early as possible. So I went at 6 to wake them up, and they were out of bed immediately. So nice. And my sister-in-law decided to walk with us, so we went into the woods. It was, the sun was rising, so it was still a bit dark. And we went walking in the woods, and we were quiet, very quiet, just walking, no talking. And then there was this, the road bended to the right, and we went walking, and then when we walked around that corner, suddenly there were at least 4 or 5 huge deer with huge antlers in the middle of that road, of that trail, and they kept staring at us for minutes. So I asked my niece and nephew to take position for a nice picture, and those deer, they didn't move, they just watched us. It was such a beautiful encounter. Later on, it turned out that they were with a lot more than only 4 or 5. And eventually we moved ahead and they crossed the trail, the road, and they didn't disappear entirely into the woods because they kept following us, just looking where we were. There was a moment of gratefulness because it is always, you never know if you will see animals in the wild. And we had tried before with my niece and nephew, and then we never saw anything, so that was a bit disappointing for them. But now it was glorious. My husband and I, we knew that there were a lot of deer in that area because 2 days earlier we had already encountered deer in the middle of the day. That is pretty uncommon in the Netherlands. Deer are very shy over here, but we encountered them in the middle of the day. But then a day later, we went for the first walk with my niece and nephew and their parents, and we saw nothing. But at this particular morning, we hit the jackpot. I hope next fall we can make another trip to this wooded area in the Netherlands and do some wildlife watching. So I can really recommend it to you to go outdoors early in the morning and you see what nature does. It's just beautiful. So if you are about to go to sleep right now, I wish you a very good night and relaxing sleep. And in the morning, I wish you a lot of happy coloring. Bye bye.